Sorry about the warning, gamers, but some parts of Origins are very mature. Oh, he liked that. But yeah, what you're seeing here is the Sony press conference B-roll footage, because there was no filming in the Arkham Origins or Blackgate.
Right.
Though there is some gameplay footage that exists for both of those. You were not supposed to film. So
But somebody did.
Somebody did. And I actually got extensive hands-on with the demo and had the developers and the writers and people watching me play the game. I was actually drawing a crowd because nobody else there was really getting between 50 to 100 hit combos while playing the demo. So I had lots of people that were interested talking to me, and I told them that I'm pretty much a Batman channel on YouTube, Nightwing01, and I had a lot of fun talking with the developers. I don't necessarily take back everything I said about our initial reaction to stuff, and I do have another video coming that would deal with the Arkham errors, because there's a massive time skip that is horribly done, because Asylum and City take place when Batman's in his late 40s, and Origins takes place when he's in his late 20s.
Right,
so a 5-year time skip with 3 Robins and Oracle being paralyzed doesn't work.
Right, but that'll be another video.
That'll definitely be
But we were
another
very
video.
impressed when we played it. We were like, whoa, this is cool.
I'm also getting used to Roger Craig Smith as Batman a little bit, but he still sounds nothing like Conroy. He's still a great voice actor in that respect, and from what we played of the game, as you can see right here, this is New Gotham. This is not the Bowery or, I forgot the place where Batman's parents are killed. Park Road? No, it's not
Prime
Park.
Alley?
Prime Alley, thank you. You could just see how massive this game is in that respect. And it's going to be a tremendous amount of fun to play. I tried to break the demo when I was playing. I ended up fighting a lot of different thugs and trying variations and leveling up Batman using the skill tree.
Yeah.
Well, at first they were like, you have 15 minutes to play the game. And that 15 minutes turned into about 40 minutes. And this was after I spent 10 minutes playing Blackgate on the 3DS, which was awesome, but we'll talk about that in a little bit, because we do have some PSV footage of the combat, which we'll talk about. But from what you can see here, Batman fights pretty much the same as he did in Arkham City and Asylum. He has the interaction, the combat, the counters, and things like that. But you'll notice his fighting style is more feral. Very Batman Begins-ish. Like where Batman is dropped in the middle of all those thugs in his introduction to Batman Begins. And he's taking people out with, like, you know, all the powerful combos and things like that. And here we have the new enemy, which is the martial artist, and they have kind of like this tango dance going on, where when you counter, you have to counter again in order to take them out. Now, I had a hard time fighting these guys in the demo, and even the guy was like, "Oh, you're not gonna get like massive combos again," and I was cocky. I was like, "You know what? I'm gonna have no problem fighting these guys," but they gave me a hard time, and I really like how they changed up the gameplay mechanic. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. I like the more simplistic fighting style, and as you're going to probably talk about later, the gadgets and stuff is more simple.
Yeah, the gadget integration, everything that you loved about Arkham City is back in this game, and I like that even though, like I said, the continuity is all shot horribly, the combat and the gameplay mechanics that you love from the past games has been fine-tuned that it's so much better than Arkham City. The combat is more fluid, integration with the gadgets during combat. The only problem I had was using the grappling hook to grapple people, because they kind of changed that for the demo at least. It wasn't the same way that it was for the PS3.
Yeah. That's how you disarm a bomb.
There, that should do it.
Okay, so what we have here now, this is the both PS Vita and 3DS version of the combat, and you'll notice that it's kind of similar to that 3DS game I reviewed called Code of Princess, where enemies are taking place on different, I guess, dimensions or places within the space, and Batman will actually, while you're fighting, he automatically goes into that space, which I thought was interesting, but when I had the 3DS and the 3D on, it was giving me a bit of a headache. But combat is definitely the same as Arkham Asylum, I would say. It's not as fine-tuned as City was, but it was still a lot of fun to play.
Yeah, I thought the 3DS looked fantastic. I was really surprised. I had never seen a 3DS game look like that.
Yeah.
Not even sweating.
And of course that
Aren't you a cool
is
customer?
the Catwoman
But you wouldn't
voice
put heat
from
like that on
Arkham
a
City
helpless
and
girl,
Injustice.
would you?
I've got a feeling
I'm
helpless
sure
is one
PS
thing you
Vita
are.
looks the same as 3DS.
Handsome,
It's
strong,
like
and
really
in touch
nice.
with his feelings. Every girl's dream.
And Roger Craig Smith is, of course, Batman in this as well. Although on the 3DS, he sounded more like Bruce Greenwood from the Red Hood movie, which I didn't mind. I enjoyed Bruce Greenwood a lot in both Young Justice and Red Hood. So his voice is growing on me a little bit. It's still no Kevin, but then again,
it'll take you a while to get used to.
yeah. Almost has kind of a Clint Eastwood vibe to it, like for this young, rough Batman. Now, Catwoman actually isn't in Origins. She is one of the villains that appears in Blackgate, and she was a Batman Year 2, Year 3 villain when she was introduced. And they're using a similar storyline from The Legends of the Dark Knight, which was a retelling of Catwoman. This one, she's kind of like a spy. She's stealing technology for the mob. At least that's what we think in this demo, but they don't really tell you a lot about that. And also, the gameplay, you'll notice, is very similar to Batman Begins. Like how you interact with the environment and everything is more linear instead of non-linear gameplay. But for a portable game, it works very well. And the graphics look really great as well. The music is actually not original. It is the Arkham City soundtrack.
Using the rooftops.
And you're actually limited when you attack enemies from... there's some ways to do stealth, but there's not a lot of options when you're perched up above, so you can't like throw a batarang or smoke pellet and things like that you could in Arkham City or Asylum. But as you can see right here, the combat... I mean, the guy playing, he's not too familiar with the combat, but they still have the little spidey sense that pops up their head.
Yeah, it looks a lot better when you're actually playing it. The person who did off-camera footage of this isn't very good.
No,
it really looks
since you weren't allowed to film at all, I'm guessing that either he has the camera on his head, like inside his hat, or he has it inside his coat.
Snuck it in somewhere, but
because it's.
So yeah, it's like a little bit more limited than the like Arkham City and stuff fighting, but.
Well, yeah, you'll also notice that Batman's fighting animations, there isn't that much compared to.
There's only so many
Origins.
things you can do.
Yeah.
But for a handheld game for the Vita or the 3DS, it's one of the best.
Oh,
like,
this is shaping.
games I've ever seen.
From what I played, this is one of the best portable Batman games I've ever played, and I've played tons of portable Batman games over the year, from the Game Boy Advance to the Nintendo DS. I really enjoyed Batman Brave and the Bold on the DS, but just playing this for only 10 minutes, mind you, I came across, after finishing the demo and doing the Catwoman battle, which he didn't get to in this demo, it was really well done. I love the side-scroll to 3D mechanics that are used in this, and it really pulls you into the world of Blackgate.
It makes you feel like it's 3D, but it's really linear. Yeah.
Okay, now here is the part where this guy should have used stealth. Instead, he chose to attack them. You can actually sneak up behind them and do the sleeper holds and things like that in this area, which I did in the demo. And then you don't have to worry about being shot up like these guys, because they will destroy your purchase, just like in Arkham City and Asylum.
Oh, okay.
But everybody, when they play these Batman games, they never do it the stealth way that I do it, so they're always getting shot up. They think that Batman's invincible. And, of course, you gamers know that when I play, I like to pretend I'm Batman in a sense, and do it more stealthy, because Batman isn't bulletproof. He has to do things in a certain way, or, pay for it.
Yeah, I remember the person in the booth was talking to you about that, and you were showing him how you like to do it stealth.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun talking about the booth. Now, what we're showing here is most of the combat that is in Arkham City is alive and well in Arkham Origins. The only difference is, you can see here, Batman is a fine-tuned machine. He is really powerful and knows exactly how he's going to strike people. In Arkham Origins, when he hits people, he's not hitting them to knock them out. He's hitting them to take them out. Not necessarily trying to kill him, but he'll break collarbones and snap wrists and really knock out the person. Not just take them out of the fight.
Fools are going down.
This Batman, he can knock you down and you're out cold, but you're not in critical condition. Arkham Origins Batman, at the beginning, we see him drop a thug into a Christmas tree, which is about 2 stories.
Yeah.
So that guy's got broken ankles, probably some busted ribs, possibly other medical problems.
You hope he's gonna be okay. You're not sure though.
It's also important to note too that Batman also has the ability to break weapons, though that wasn't available in the demo. You can see that I'm doing it here in this post footage. This was actually done in post because, well, as you know, I'm never that good at this game doing live commentary. So to prove a point and to show the different things that Batman can do in City, that's going to be in Origins, I had to do this in post. Because just talking the way that I am, there'd be no way.
You can definitely tell he has a lot more experience. He's, he can, he's in Arkham City, so he can do a lot more. He has a lot more options of how he can take people down.
Yeah, whereas when he's doing the cape, I guess, beat 'em up attack, he'll use his headbutt, like to really incapacitate the thug in Origins. In Asylum and City, he'll either knee you in the face, he'll spinning back kick you, or he'll do another animation. It's not always, I'm going to headbutt you to cause the most damage.
Right.
It all depends on how many thugs are around him. Batman will anticipate things, so yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense, because if you're inexperienced, it's like your main thing is to survive, so you're not so much worried about, if the thug is going to be okay or not. It's kind of like survive yourself. So.
Well, yeah, Batman is also, the police are against him in this upcoming game, so he can't really spend a lot of time making sure that he's not going to put each thug into a coma. And also, he has assassins that are after him, like Bane and Deadshot, Deathstroke, and things like that. Plus, he has the Mad Bomber, the Joker, to deal with, who's constantly blowing up buildings that Batman has to disarm, and also Anarchy, possibly Prometheus, and other villains that are really going to be causing a lot of problems for Batman.
Yeah. What I really liked about the new game, what I got to see on it was the music. I really enjoyed the music, and I really enjoyed, like, the graphics were really crisp and clean, like, compared to the other games, so I was really amazed at that. I was very impressed.
Oh yeah, we kind of, like, dissed on the graphics a little bit, but there is a huge difference, folks, when you're actually playing the game compared to the footage that we're able to show, because it does look a little grainy, the footage, compared to when you're actually playing it, because it just doesn't capture the quality of how the game really looks.
Yeah, I mean, also I like the Christmas lights, obviously. It was a little more bright. The Arkham City and Arkham Asylum is very dark and murky. Everything is dark, and I like how everything is a little bit more crisp, and you can see the details in the buildings better in Arkham Origins, and I really liked that. I mean, for me, I'm not too much of a I don't like dark games very much, so I was like, yay, it's a little bit less dark. So.
Well, the composer wanted to do more of a, I can't remember the name of that movie, Die Hard feel.
Oh, okay.
So there are certain times where Batman has an epiphany that there'll be bells playing or something.
Aw, cool. Well, Die Hard takes place at Christmas a lot of the time, so yeah. Yeah.
Wow, I guess I lost my rhythm. Probably the cat came by or something.
And obviously, another tremendous difference is how big it is, how tall the buildings are, how much more space there is. When you swoop down from a building, you can just swoop forever. So.
Yeah, the developers told me that not only is the city about 4 to 5 times bigger than Arkham Asylum, but Arkham City. New Gotham also has these buildings that are massive, and it'll take you about, if you glide down, it'll take you about a minute. If you drop, it's going to take you about 3 minutes.
Yeah, go ahead.
And you can also use the grapple to go all the way up the building, whereas before you would have to use streetlights and things like that. And the buildings in Old Gotham are considerably smaller than in New Gotham, which we saw originally in the demo.
Yeah, I also noticed they had different kinds of thugs. You know, you had the one kind up on the roof, but they also had one you didn't get to see in the footage we had, which was the bigger thugs that you had to
yeah, the guys who replaced the Titans, like these really heavy body armor guys. And you have to basically use your cape stun to attack them.
Yeah. I would talk about the villain that was like kind of on the video on the wall,
Anarchy?
but I don't know if I should. Okay, I didn't know if that would be a spoiler.
Yeah, you're allowed to. Anarchy replaces the Riddler in the game.
He has little videos of himself and he's taunting you and stuff like that.
As far as we can tell, he replaces.
Yeah, it looks like he does. Yeah, exactly.
And just so you guys and gals are wondering too, this is actually done on Amber's PS3 account. because we were doing some stuff on her PS3. So this is not my account. That's too low of a score.
So pay no attention to those scores.
Yes.
Exactly.
All right, so we're back in the Bowery now, and this is actually in Arkham Origins, although it's not going to be as run down because the earthquake didn't happen and the stuff that when Roz was drilling to unearth the Lazarus Pit or whatever in Gotham, none of the cosmetic damage has happened to old Gotham yet.
Right. That makes sense.
And the walls, of course, aren't up. So you'll be able to go to New Gotham and Old Gotham with ease. And
this has a totally different feel.
Well, yeah, the museum, everything like this isn't going to look like as dirty and things like... Well, I mean, it might look a little bit dirty. From what he told me, Old Gotham is kind of the slums, but it's not really that bad. But when you go to Crime Alley and the Bowery a little bit, there are certain parts of Gotham that are going to be very, like, run down.
Yeah.
Which is very similar to how the comics were because... the area where Batman's parents were killed was always the rundown part of Gotham.
But it won't be totally chaos like Arkham City, so...
Right.
Yeah. I have a noob question. Is Arkham Origins the entire city of Gotham?
Yes.
Or, okay.
It's Old Gotham, which was part of Arkham City up to Amusement Mile, and then it's New Gotham, which you can see off in the background.
Very cool.
So like Wayne Tower and things like that.
Unbelievable how
which
big
we can
that's
see from
gonna
the
be.
skyline. See back there, the lights and things like that?
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
New Gotham.
That's going to be tremendous. I can't wait to, explore that whole area.
Oh yeah, we'll be able to do so much and do a lot of sightseeing. But like I said before, the only thing that I'm upset about as a critic is, and a fan, especially after Paul Dini's writing and Dwayne McDuffie and things like that, who've really gotten people to care about the characters and really make their origins and the timeline and everything shine. The person who's responsible for writing this game completely miscalculated the ages and a lot of the events that happened between Origins and Asylum to the point where by the time Arkham 4 comes out, or if they do an Arkham Origins 2, they're going to have to do a lot of damage control because it doesn't add up. It just doesn't.
Math.
Kindergarten
math.
Yes.
Learn to add.
I'm sorry, a 27-year-old Batman 5 years later does not become 45. It doesn't.
Yeah.
Maybe in cat years.
5 plus 27 is...
Yeah. So I mean that's the only
32.
That's the only real problem we have with the game, folks, and it's a legitimate complaint, whether you believe so or not. Not just as a Batman fan, but also as a critic and someone who really enjoys what the Arkham games have been and what they will continue to be, since Warner Brothers is going to stretch this out to be like an Assassin's Creed franchise until Batman's popularity wanes. But with the Easter egg in the Superman movies and talking about rebooting Batman with a new actor and then doing a Justice League movie, I don't see the Batman game slowing down anytime soon.
Yeah. What about the storylines? Like, we were able to go on one path when we were in the demo, but you could go on other paths. Is that kind of how the game goes?
I stretched the demo as far as I could, and I almost got to Old Gotham, but the guy told me if I kept going, I was going to break the demo.
Oh, okay.
So from what I got to see and how long it took me to actually travel,
yeah.
I was very impressed by how long the demo is. Now, when they release the demo for Arkham Origins, I believe it's this fall, before the game comes out in October, they told me it's not going to be quite the same as what was seen at E3 because they didn't realize that I could bypass certain areas of it.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
so,
you kind of showed them.
Yeah,
exactly.
I fought for a good hour and things like that and really explored the different rooftops. I came across different enemy types. And, I was even impressed that most of the animations for the fighters were a little bit different. It wasn't exactly like Asylum and Origins... or Asylum and City. I'm never going to get that right.
Right.
And I really did. It took me a while when I actually climbed on top of a building. Like, right now I can walk past the buildings very easily, but when I was up on top of the bigger buildings and I was walking, it took a while for me actually to get from one end of the building to the other just by walking.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's going to do it for our gameplay. This is the end of the demo that is at the event where Bane comes in and takes Batman out of the ceiling and beats him up a bit.
This was fun. I had fun at the demo place. So.
Oh, I really hope they release a demo soon because I could do a couple episodes and try to stretch the demo and show people everything it has to offer. But I got past the bridge scene in the demo, which you weren't supposed to be able to do. Because Batman starts right here, and then behind him is the bridge area that leads back into Old Gotham.
I'm proud of you.
Well, the guy let me keep going. He wanted to see if the game was going to fritz up, and it never did.
That's awesome. I got a free soda, so I was happy.
But, okay, this is my complaint, folks, with the continuity. Listen to both Batman and Joker's voices. This is what their 20-something selves would sound like. In Arkham City and Asylum, Joker talks about how Batman and Joker can't do the runaround for years because they're getting much older. They're near 50 years old. So right here, they're in their prime. So it doesn't make sense. It
goes to beginning to end, no middle.
Right. And it also prevents them from making a lot of games like having the Joker kill Jason Todd in Batman's 10th year. And even if they're going by the new 52, they totally screwed up big time because Batman has been Batman for 12 years in the new 52 and has had 3 Robins in the time span of about 2 or 3 years each. So all the stuff that happens, it doesn't make sense. But anyway, that's the end of the demo. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll be back with more Origins videos in the future.